By the time we landed on Yavin, whatever shock we'd felt at the destruction of the Death Star had been replaced by anger. For months we'd treated the rebellion like a disobedient child, only to be repaid for our tolerance with treachery on an unimaginable scale. Frankly, I don't remember much of the fighting. I guess we won.
Alright guys, we are fast approaching the finale of Let's Play Star Wars Battlefront 2. And we're going to take a break from the really challenging battles for a battle that's not really all that hard. And we're here on the surface of Yavin IV. This map is directly just copy and pasted from the previous game. It's exactly the same as it was in the first Battlefront, and I'm glad it made a comeback. One thing you can definitely, this level definitely showcases, is the difference in graphics between the Xbox and PS2 version. The PS2 version, the water textures are not nearly as nice, but they look really solid here, all things considered. The nice water effect when you walk through the water, though, is still in both games, but the texture is just much better in this version of the game. First objective here is just to capture this command post. Actually, that's basically the entirety of this mission, is just go from point A to point B, capturing every command post along the way, and it's not all that hard. We're going to take this IFT right here and go underneath this old ancient walkway. There's a lot of really nice scenery here, both in an aesthetic level and a almost like a intriguing sort of historical level. Like, we don't know what this place really is or what it's for. It's just some ancient temple, really, and it's just kind of interesting to analyze. But everything that was in this level in the first Battlefront is still here. Some command posts are placed a little bit differently, and some of the features, like the placement of some turrets, are different, and obviously the different types of vehicles are different because of the the Alliance doesn't have those speeders anymore. And basically everything that's changed from Battlefront 1 to 2 is true with this level. Of course, this is not the only level that's a reoccurring level from 1 to 2. The Naboo Theed level was in the first Battlefront, but it took place during the day. And that one actually had some very significant changes in the placement of command posts, though. So now we've got to capture this little post here under the viaduct. I deliberately went over here to showcase some encounters with the Alliance AAC tanks, because they will always spawn over here, and if you allow the AI to kind of follow their own pathing, vehicles in this game, their AI paths kind of always sort of instinctively have a way of finding each other. Like, all vehicles will eventually find the other vehicles from the enemy faction to engage in vehicle-to-vehicle combat with them. They will not they won't avoid each other in favor of fighting infantry. They will always kind of find the other tanks. So your guys will go under that bridge just like I did, and they'll fight the AAC tanks that have come from inside the temple to go under that exact same way. So now we're up here. I don't remember what this place is called, but this is the next command post you have to capture. This is probably the only tricky part of this level. Things can get pretty hairy up here if we're not careful. So I chose the Dark Trooper because I'm probably going to die a couple times here, and I want to be able to do the jetpack cancel to get back up here quickly to recapture it if the rebels get an advantage on me. And also we got to defend this area for how long? 2 minutes. The reflecting pool is what it's called. I thought the reflecting pool was in the other area down there. So this is the reflecting pool. We've got to make sure the enemy doesn't capture it back within 2 minutes. So that's pretty easy to do, all things considered. The only thing I have to worry about is I just kind of have to keep low and get my guys out of trouble, because I don't want that tank over there to get too curious about us. Hopefully he'll stay over there and stay distracted. And there's also these tower turrets on this level. The tower turrets are a lot more powerful. In the first Battlefront, they had a little bit of splash damage to them, but they have a much bigger range in this game. It seems like all the turrets are the same, really, in this game. Well, actually, no. I take it back, because I demonstrated all those different turret types on Kashyyyk, but the tower turrets are exactly the same as the regular turrets that you can build in most other levels, and that's kind of unremarkable, all things considered. I really liked the tower turrets in the first game, but now they're kind of just like, they feel like any other turret on any other level, but they have a ridiculously long range, and they can hit us from all the way over there past where our draw distance will allow us to see. So we gotta take them out with the rockets. We get another IFT that spawns up here, which is pretty nice. And if I really wanted to be cheap, I'll just bring the IFT inside the reflecting pool and just let it sit there. I put a mine there at the gate because, like I said, the AI scripting for the enemy's pathfinding skills will force them to walk into the reflecting pool from that fixed point, that entryway, that broken gate up there. And that means that if I put a mine there, eventually the guys are gonna walk into it. They're not gonna. They can walk in on the side there, but it's less likely. So I'm covering my tracks there. All right, so we lost the command post, so I quickly have to get back up there before it becomes. You have to. It has to be under rebel control for me to fail the objective. Waiting for my jetpack to refuel, and there we go. Yeah, if it's neutral when the timer runs out, which is exactly what happened, then we get a full recapture of the command post, and we don't fail the objective. There's a rebel marksman that's really hell-bent on taking me out here, but luckily she missed. The rebel marksmen in this game, as well as the first game, are female. I don't remember if they had proper female voices though in the first game. I don't think they did. I think they made those voices for this game because they acknowledged that they didn't include that in the first one. There's another tower turret over here. We got to take a bomb from this temple-looking thing over here and take it to the front gate of the rebel base up there and blow the door open. So we gotta avoid enemy encounters on our way up there, because now we can't use our jump pack while we are carrying the flag type item. We just have to drop it at the gate, and then quickly we can jump pack away from it, because it will blow up. I've got a lot to deal with right now. There's a tower turret right here, and there's a AAC that just passed me, so I'm trying to avoid that. Yeah, this is a heavy blast door, so we're going to jump pack way the hell away from here and just kind of sit tight for a second. And as soon as that door opens, we're going to have a very rude awakening, because there's going to be a lot more AACs coming out from the... There's going to be 3 of them coming out from the inside, as well as a command post in there that's going to spawn some more rebel infantry. But our objective is to kill the rebel leaders that are here, which are all Bothan spies. So that's going to be really obnoxious to take them out, but I have a strategy for it, so no big deal. These AACs can really tear you apart, so you really got to know what you're doing with the IFT in order to take on 3 of them at once. These vanguards could also rip my tank to shreds if I'm not careful. Well, so much for that plan. I think those tanks are actually like scripted AI units, because it just said rebel killed me, it didn't say who. So I want to say those tanks are just AI entities that don't actually have a unit inside them, like they just kind of sit there and wait for you. They're just kind of like stationary guns almost. Using the jetpack cancel, I can get up here, and this is, you can technically walk up here from the railing on the side there, but it's very difficult, and this is actually, like, it's almost out of bounds. Like, it's not going to tell you to re-enter the battlefield, but it's not exactly a difficult area to get to. So there's 3 Bothans in here. They can kill you quite quickly, but using the Arcaster, I took them out without much effort. And we can actually capture their final command post too, but it's not important for actually completing the mission.
After the battle, the surviving members of the 501st finally caught their breath. The Empire had taken the rebels' best shot and come up standing. Now, it was our turn to strike.